but I am wearing granny panties right now. Okay, not what you're thinking though. My grandma literally gave them to me. But also, okay, it is also kind of what you're thinking though, because it is that style. It is granny panties style. But also not what you're thinking. They were new in the package. Okay, she's not giving me used underwear. Also, her name was Louise. I don't normally name her in the joke, but Louise. That was got one. So here's something I learned recently. When you get your hip replaced, it's not the whole hip. Is this common knowledge? I was like, how is anyone surviving hip replacements? Like, if you're getting your whole, if this is all coming out and you're replacing it, like, it's only the joint though. Like, that's why it's survivable. I know, I learned that. Do you think Shakira knew that? Like, I thought it's only the joint. That's all it is. I was a valedictorian. I really was. But like one of the worst ones, really. Like my school had 67 valedictorians the year I graduated, so like that's why I'm so dumb. I am the dumbest. And also, so that joke was inspired by my other grandma, Frances. Named her as well. So, I mean, I'm not old enough to have named her, but in the joke I named her. Okay, so one time I was visiting with my grandma, my mom, and my non-binary sibling, right? And we were like getting together and we were like really hungry, looking for somewhere to eat, and we stumbled across a Hooters. And apparently I'm the only one of the four of us who knows what Hooters is. Like, I don't want to be like, that's kind of a weird restaurant for this group, but don't you think? Like, I didn't want to be like, well, I know what it is. Like, so like, I pretended I did not, and maybe they were all pretending that they did not know what Hooters was. I didn't notice you were wearing, you know what Hooters is. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, but like, we were just sitting there, like, they acted like they did not notice anything weird the whole meal. That's so strange. I know, I'm sorry. I have a weird sense of humor. Like, I know. For one thing, I think it's really funny when just things make sense. That cracks me. It really does. It's so funny to me. Like, if things are logical, I'm like, that makes sense. Like, this is a true story. I was at a Les Schwab. You're not going to believe this. I mean, you will. But so this car drove in with a flat tire. That's where you go if you have a flat tire. I was laughing so hard. I was just walking like, oh my gosh. That is so funny. You know what happens on Mother's Day? A lot of things, but I'm going to tell you one. The flower shops are so crowded on Mother's Day, right? Have you noticed this? They are so crowded. Oh man, I got more of these. Don't worry. So I was riding the bus once, and this woman, I didn't know her name because she was a stranger, but a woman did get on the bus, and it was really loud at her stop, right? There was like construction at her bus stop, and so she got on. The bus driver, so he was a guy, sorry, but he was just like, it is so loud at your stop, and she was like, what? It makes sense. And then, so he said it again, he's like, it's so loud at your stop, and she was just like, okay, like she gave up and she sat down. But then, so 10 minutes later, she's getting off the bus, and the bus driver says, I was trying to tell you at your stop, that construction was so loud. And she said, also not making this up, she said, oh, I couldn't hear you. I can barely get through that joke. It cracks me up so much. Oh man, another time. Got one more, and then we'll be done with those. But so I live really close to like the naked bike ride route, and so I was walking home, and these people were watching. Like, you're not supposed to watch it, but they were watching it, and they were talking to each other. I think they were women too, and they were talking to each other, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is so cool!" And then so they yelled out to the bikers. They're like, "How are you doing this?" And really, one of the bike riders yelled back, "You just get naked and you get on a bike." So I can barely get through that joke. Okay, I gotta move on. So dumb. Okay, so. Okay, sorry. Oh my gosh, I haven't cracked up for that one. Okay, so I was a valedictorian, that's true, but I didn't use it for anything good. Like I used to work at Oaks Park. That's not a joke. That's just true. I did. Okay. That's not the funny part yet. What's happening? Okay, so I used to work at Oaks Park, and that's why I know. Stop laughing at me. My nipples are 4 feet off the ground. That's why I know, because every height sign there points right to them. Like, I know. Gross. Unprepared. Unprofessional of me. Okay, so my nipples are 4 feet off the ground, right? It's not even funny, it's just true. But, okay, pull it together, Kristin. Okay, but I've had a couple kids since I worked there, and I haven't remeasured, so they might be 3'11" now. Like I don't actually know.